Hi everybody, it's Colin McKeown from the New Fly Fisher. It's a beautiful night and I thought this is a great night to come out here and talk about three books that I got over the last couple of years that I think really made a difference in how I fly fish. We're going to look at these books, the authors, some of the content, and why I think you should put them on your must-get books for the future to help you become a better fly fisher. Stay with us. So the first book I want to talk about is from my good friend Tom Rosenbauer, and it's called Small Stream Fly Fishing. If you've seen the Orvis Guide to Fly Fishing, which we produced with Tom, we did a whole show on small stream fly fishing. And I don't know about you, I love small stream fly fishing. 2 weights, 3 weights, 4 weights, etc. Catching small trout, sometimes big trout, but there's a lot of tips and techniques that Tom has put together in this book about fly fishing the different types of streams that are across North America and specifically around the world, whether you're in Patagonia, you're in England, Czechoslovakia, wherever you're going. And this book is fantastic because he talks about the environment, talks about food supply, why fish will be in some small streams and not in others, what to look for. He even does a whole thing about how to find small streams and fish them, but at the same time, be cognizant of the fact that private property is important. And you got to take certain measures to make sure you're not trespassing, ask permissions. I mean, it's all in here, just like his video. And if you get a chance, I strongly recommend you look at his video. I'll put the link down below in the description box for that video if you haven't seen it. But based on the popularity of the video that we put up a couple of years ago, it's almost an hour long. There's a lot of you that love small stream fishing as much as I do. I mean, it's actually how I got started in fly fishing. It was on a small stream in Nova Scotia that I loved, and a big brook trout was like 8 inches, 10 inches. Catch them on dry flies, but it didn't matter. And this book that Tom's written is beautifully illustrated, great pictures, lots of information. And to me, it's kind of like taking what we did in the video with Tom and giving more layers to it, giving more content, more information, the things you can't squeeze into an hour video that you need to know. So as much as people think that books aren't important anymore, I think they're still really important. And this book is a good definition of why books are important. Tom did a great job. I mean, all his books are fantastic, but I really like this small stream fly fishing book. The next book is from Simon Gawesworth, and it's all about spey casting. And I gotta tell you, and I'm not talking about two-handed, I'm talking about single-handed. And this is something I'm just starting to get into. I've got a few of the rods, I've got some of the lines. I want to get better at it because there's something about a single-handed spey, learning the different casts, the way you swing a fly, everything. And what Simon does in this book, which is again very well illustrated, great pictures, he breaks down the casts. And if you go to the Far Bank Fly Fishing School videos, he does address single-handed spey casting in a 2-part series, which we actually have in our channel. But this book, I mean, it's just everything, such detail. And Simon is, like Tom, he's just a master. He is a master of spey casting, both double and single-handed. And I really respect the man. In fact, I'm looking forward to going fishing with him this summer in Labrador and learning more from the master, because he's just like this fountain of information. So if you want to learn how to single-hand spey cast, I strongly recommend this book. Of course, check out his videos in the Far Bank Fly Fishing School, but this book is a great companion to the videos, a lot more deep detail. I like the photography with the drawings that he's got in the book that show the breakdown of how you make certain types of casts, how to do it, tight corners, everything. It's a wonderful book. The last book I'm going to talk about, I actually got a few years ago, and I promised him that I would do a review once I had a chance to read it, and of course, I didn't read it for a long time. And that's from Phil Rowley. You know, Phil's one of our hosts, and he's certainly one of the gurus of Stillwater fly fishing, just like Brian Chan and others. But Phil is, I find he's just so good in his depth of knowledge. I mean, when I first started fly fishing with Phil back in the early 2000s, I knew square root of squat about lake fishing for trout. And I used to go out there and flog the water and do really poorly. Spending time with him, I learned a lot. And I wish he had this book out. He had some other books out, especially about patterns and stuff like that. But the level of detail in this book, very much like Tom's books, lots of information talking about insect hatches, what the trout are doing, the life cycle of lakes and how they function, different means of reaching the trout, the different fly lines, the leaders, fly patterns. I mean, everything's in here in great detail. And of course, we've done some videos with Phil through the Orvis Guide to Fly Fishing. We did two, I think the first episode was the basics of Stillwater fly fishing, which is a great companion to this book. And then the second one we did on Henry's Lake in Idaho, and I think Tom joined along with Mark Melnick, and they go into more that's in this book. So if you're looking for a great book to pick up for Father's Day, or you're looking for a great book for this coming winter to look at, I strongly recommend this one from Phil Rowley. Orvis actually publishes it, but at the same time, have a look at their videos. I've got the links down below for Phil's Stillwater series done with Tom Rosenbauer and the Orvis Guide to Fly Fishing. They'll really help you if you're like me and want to learn a lot about how to catch trout in lakes, whether big or small, ponds, whatever. This book and the videos will help you have success on the water. And I got to tell you, of all the small stream and the casting book, this one for lake fishing, it's tough. And this book makes it simple. He really breaks it down well. Phil's done a fantastic job. He's a really great guy. If you get a chance to see him speak, I strongly recommend it, but Phil's the master. I hope you enjoyed this video and discussion of these three books. I'm going to do more reviews talking about other types of books. And in fact, my next video is going to be about books that are out of print, books that I acquired over the years that are now out of print, unfortunately, but are still great books. And if you can find them on eBay, at used bookstores, these are books I recommend you pick up because they're timeless. They're books that have so much good information from great authors. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your feedback. Have a great season on the water.